Here, let me get this set up. It turned off. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm going to turn down volume. All right. So, see here. Technology. Um, got a few things on the agenda. If you saw the picture for this live stream, you see some stuff has happened to the building. Now, let me turn this down. Come on. There we go. Okay. So if you saw the picture of the live stream, you can, that building, right, is taking shape. I spent some time and started putting everything together and getting the plaster and everything, or not the plaster, the joint compound, and carving everything and getting it so it's starting to look like something, right? So I was going to come on yesterday, but we kind of got hit with a little bit of a storm down here in Texas with some heavy winds, and I was trying to bring up the internet, and it kept on getting disrupted. So instead of having a live stream that kept on cutting out and coming back on and cutting out, I said, screw it. We'll just shoot for today, which is Wednesday. So yeah, that's where we're at. So last live stream, I went ahead and put up the copper tape and did that. I still haven't done the other lane yet. I started playing around with the copper, trying to tint it, right? Using some different acids and stuff on it. And I'm not really getting anywhere with it. So I'm just going to say, screw it. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay the copper down the way it is, because I need to have that conductivity the way, it needs to be. So, yeah, I wish I could tint it so that it doesn't have the copper look on it as far as the rail goes, but hey, I'd rather have my cars go around the track than stall out, and then I'm trying to climb over this thing. So, yeah. Oh, and let's see here. La 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 la. Yeah. So that's where everything sits right now. Go ahead and we'll climb up on the layout. I'll show you where the building's at. Need to scribe some lines as far as to set it, as far as the base goes, and then we're going to bring it back over here, and I'll show you guys a little bit more in depth as what's going on. I have some lights that I need to finish up with part of the buildings to go ahead and get those soldered in real quick, and then a little bit of patchwork, but you guys will see all that. And we need to start slopping some paint on some of this stuff. So let me go ahead and I'll grab the camera. We'll get up on the layout, and we'll see what happens. All right, so let me do this. We gotta tap this twice. It turns you around. Come on. One, there. Okay, cool. We're going the correct direction now. All right, so let me go ahead and unplug that. Go like this. Oh, besides that, I got the picture fixed this time. It's not going the wrong direction. So that's a bonus, right? So here we go. Still got a mess up here. But here is what that building's starting to look like. Now, the roof is just sitting on there. I just did it for, aesthetics. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I flexed it right here and it cracked. So I've got to go ahead and fix that and kind of patch that all up. But that won't take any time. But I got the rock work done through here with the joint compound. and everything's been sealed with PVA. So after the joint compound dries, I take PVA and go over the top so it glues it all into place. But did all that. I did some modifications on this building, and I'll show you all this when we get it back out of here. But I just want to bring you up here and kind of show you what it looks like in place. And it's a big building. Thing's long. So if you've seen the other live streams, it's sitting on a board. See the board? So it's sitting on a board, and I'm actually going to utilize that as the sidewalk that this building has in what is, I forget what they call that town, but yeah, I'm going to utilize that as the sidewalk, and then the kind of give you guys an idea. Grab the pencil where I had the body filler right here. It actually slopes down. Okay, this area, if you look at the real road, this area through here is cobblestone for drain stormwater. Comes all the way up and actually goes up into here as well. So yeah, I'll have the curb, the sidewalk, and then I'll have to carve all this to make the cobblestone up alongside the street. But that's not going to come for quite a ways. But yeah, there is this. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and well, no, before I do that here, so you guys kind of know what I'm doing. I took this pencil, I got the building set where I wanted it, right? So it's set over here, comes down through, and then I have this polystyrene that I've kind of carved and put into place. A little bit of a gap back in here, but that can be filled once this is set in. So I've kind of got the building and stuff set on this board, and I took the pencil and scribed some lines down through here so I can get the placement off and glue it all into place. And what's going to happen is that this guy, see, it's loose. So I can take this, build it all together, at the workbench, and then bring it back over here, set it into place. And yeah, I can either make it so it's removable, which I don't know if I'm able to do that if I'm blending here on the edges. I would have to, yeah, it goes all the way down in the back side. I'm probably not going to do that. I'm probably just going to blend the scenery right into it. But if you were going to, if you wanted to make buildings that were removable on your layout, this would be a good way of doing it. To build everything together, have it sitting on a board that's loose like this, and then if you needed to have it removed, you could just go ahead and take that off, remove it, and then access, certain parts of your layout. So, yeah, I'm definitely not going to do it that way. But if you wanted to do it, that is the way to do it. So let me go ahead and I'm going to set the camera up over at the end of the layout, and then I have to get back up here, grab this thing, tear it back down there, and then we'll go from there. So there's this. Oh, geez. Time to stand up. Okay, yep, still got a mess. All right, so I'll go this way. Okay, and I'll turn you guys around. All right, there. So I'll let you stare there. I'll be right back. Off I go again. Okay. Stuff's falling. set that there. Oh, jeez. All right, now I need the tripod. Get the tripod. All right, I'm back. Turn you back around. Come on, turn around. You're gonna turn around. There we go. Okay. So now, oh, come on. Technical difficulties. Trying to adjust a tripod with one hand. Okay, now, where is the buttons on the... Okay, there's this. And I'll let you guys know some other stuff that's, whoops, that's going on. Come on, Boone. Okay. Okay, we're gonna flip you guys the other way. There. Okay, so we did that. Now, we're gonna try this again. Okay, don't hit the button. I got it. I got one of these. I don't have my iPhone anymore. I got one of these Android 6 folds. It actually opens up like a tablet. But the problem is with the phone, it's thick. Because obviously it opens up, has a huge screen. And it doesn't fit as good in the tripod as the other one did. So let me go ahead and take these off. Yeah, and set those over there. Let's see here. Now, problem with having a building this size is that the building is this size. See here. All right, we got that. You guys can see. Yeah, for the most part. All right. What am I on? Chair. Oh, I'm on a cord. Oh. That. All right. Okay, let me take you on a tour around this building. This building is, it's actually three buildings from Racetrack Scenics. There's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Can I open this up more? Let's see here. If we do that, yeah. There you go. You guys can see more of a mess. Did it go back down? No. Okay. So these are 3 buildings from Racetrack Scenics, part of the Targa collection that I helped. Yeah, I got to play and help them make this collection. But we've got 3 buildings, and what I've done, I'll take that guy, put him there, is that so far at this point, I've taken all 3 of these and I've glued them together, okay? The inner walls and stuff, if I take, make sure I can flip this upside down. What was that? Oh, that was the roof. So I've went ahead and glued them all together. So it's one massive building. Reason why I did that, let's move that, is so I could take the outside and blend it all together and make it look all as one piece. The original buildings is that this one and this one had this stonework on, brick or I think it's like rock, and it was all one piece. This building right here was actually, it kind of looked like almost like a concrete tilt-up style building. So obviously it's going to be completely different texture than what this is. So what I did is I went ahead and took joint compound, glazed the whole entire thing. This one I finished out so it's somewhat smooth, looking like concrete. And this guy, I went ahead and carved all my rock, which how you do that is you actually load up quite a bit. And then I take let me get it. Oh, okay. I need to get up to do it. Grab it. I've got some of these guys, right? And actually, I picked these up at Hobby Lobby. And yeah, I mean, you can go to a hobby shop and get these, but at Hobby Lobby, they're pretty damn cheap. And I believe these are stainless even because they're not rusting. They're not aluminum, but I think they're stainless. So they're actually pretty durable. I mean, can't bend them or anything else. They're pretty stout. So went ahead and grabbed this, and what I do is I just go ahead and start carving my rock, right? And if you load it up or whatnot, because it has kind of a scoop on it, I go ahead and load that on top so it gives it more depth. So your final, result is that it has a three-dimensional look to it, and it looks like rock. So went ahead and did that. Other thing that I did, obviously this guy's all built. This is 3 stories in here. Each one over on this side has individual lights in it. So it's all going to be illuminated. There's not very many windows per se in this big one. It just has these little guys here and there. And then on the back side, if we go over here, it does have windows on every story, but where this is located at and everything else, I didn't want to do an interior. If you've ever done interiors in buildings, it can be very time consuming as far as the time you have involved in it. And where this is at, I'm not going to be able to see it or really per se enjoy it. And I just opted to go ahead and make some drapes in the inside. So these, where is that? Okay, it's over there. These have like a paper in the inside, and I tinted the upper ones, to kind of change it up. But I'll show you the material I used for that. So that is that, and when it's lit up, then it illuminates the inside of it, so you have a little bit of light kind of transfer coming through. So kind of a cool effect. But you can see it on the inside. It's just taped right over the top of those window openings. Now the material that I used, so you guys can do this at home if you want. Cool thing about Hobby Lobby is that it's not just focused per se to regular hobbies like RCs or slot cars or scenery. You have an abundance of different types of arts and crafts that are in that store. So what I do a lot of times is I'll venture out to the other parts of the store and start going through like paper craft aisle, right? So you got all these different paper crafts where I find all sorts of different stuff. I'll grab some stuff real quick. So this stuff I found in the paper craft aisle, and this is just, I don't know if they use this for scrapbooking or whatever they do, but this is a green, and it has like a polka dot on it. So if you wanted to do like, say, wallpaper on the inside of a building or something like that, you can play around with different things. Also, if you've seen some of the checkered floors that I've done, well, it's because of paper, right? So that is, type of stuff you can find in the paper aisle. It's worth taking the trip. So there's that. This, it was a lot bigger. I'm trying to think. I can't find the rest of it. Where did I put that? I'm not worried about it. But this was on the paper aisle too. And it's almost like tissue paper, right? That's been folded up. But it has, it's smooth on the back, so it's like you can see it's kind of layered, right? But it's cool because if you think of it, looks like drapes, kind of folded, drapes. So this is what I used on the inside. And I'll just set that over there. But that's on the inside of the walls, or not on the inside of the wall, on the windows. And then where else? I'm going to get something else. I found this stuff. Again, when I get into hobby, I just start going down aisles, right? I'll start, because they have like the paints down different aisles, stuff like that. And I came across this, and it's a wash called Color Wash Tint. And this is a black wash, but they have like red, it's a green, and there's, I'll grab the other color. And they've got other colors too, but these are the ones I kind of grabbed right now. This one, I haven't tried this one. It's called Caribbean Mist, but it's kind of a turquoise. This one's Blue Lagoon, kind of a blue, obviously white. And this stuff right here, which is French Roast, which is kind of a dark brown, right? Now, what I did is I used this to go ahead and tint the drapes for color. That way it's not a solid pigment, so it's not going to block the light that comes through it. It's just going to go ahead and dilute the paper into a color. So like the red, I used that red, and it's kind of cool because it loads up on the edges, makes it look like a little bit more pleated and whatnot. There's that green. But yeah, it kind of gives it, it's a cool effect, right? So I went ahead and did that. The brown, actually, that's on this, around the window openings and stuff, is that the black? That's the black. There is the French Roast. I use the French Roast to stain all the wood on this thing, along with, per se, the doors right there as well. So, that's all done with that too. I just, playing around with it and kind of turn this into a little bit of a guinea pig to try different effects, and it worked out really cool. So I recommend getting yourself some of this stuff if you ever take a trip down to Hobby Lobby. And it's not that much. I mean, that thing's what, $2.99? So, and it's going to go a long ways. So I went ahead and did that. See here, other thing, you can see that I painted the inside walls white just to help reflect with as far as the light goes. You can see the door openings have been recessed. Okay. That's something I have not done on any other kits that I built for the Targa up to now. And the reason why I did that is because the doors on these buildings in real life don't sit at the edge of the doorway. They sit back. So I went ahead and did that so that they, give the appeal of having, thicker walls. So again, real easy. Just built a little bit of a box back there with some balsa. It's even kind of crude looking, but you'll never see it in the inside. But yeah, did that, put my door on the back side of it, and there we go. We've got a recessed door, all planks. Use a little nail head for the doorknob, and yeah, it worked pretty cool. So we got that. I told you about the drapes, I told you about the doors, that. Yeah, the only thing we haven't gone over is the lights. But again, I'm just using just regular lighting on this thing as far as with the, is that loose? No. Just regular lights. So what I got to do now is I need to get these guys wired in. Solder that in. I was thinking about tying it all together, but I had to build this guy first, and then yeah, it wasn't it wasn't easy trying to get everything to flow, because each one is an individual piece, and I just decided to build this guy separately, run all the wires going straight down, and then it pops off on the bottom down in here. And then I was just going to do the same here. I was going to link these two together and drop the wire down against this wall. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. Let me pick these guys up. And that's where that's where I'm at with these. The roof, obviously, if you've seen the other stuff, you know, even like the other building that's on the layout right now, the roof, all I do with these roofs is just use it as my base. I set these guys down, and then I build the roof on top of this. Yeah, I do the cardboard trick, which I've shown that in other videos, and who knows, we might do it again here on a live stream. I don't know. But yeah, the roofs be all done that way. There's still a lot to do to these buildings. They look like, you know, you're thinking, wow, they're, you know, pretty well complete. You just got to do this, this, that. Yeah, I've got that. But this building doesn't have gutters on it. I notice it just runs off into the street. The big one has gutters and downspouts, so I have to do that. This one, though, has a chimney that's right here in the middle. That is kind of weird. It's about halfway up, and it comes up. It's just a little stack. So I still need to build that, but I can't build that until the roof and everything's there, and then I'll get that done. I still have different, there's a power pole that's here. There's a couple of just little things that need to be done to it, but they're just tedious stuff, right? It's that tedious stuff, though, that really makes it look cool in the end. So let me go ahead and I'll get rid of these, and we'll wire these lights in, drop that through, and maybe we'll start slopping some paint. Okay. There's that. Let me move that. Okay, so there's this. Get that hooked up. Solder. Flux. And these lights are pretty much just going to get put right up here on the edge, glued on, and then set down so they illuminate the inside of the box. This one, I was just going to use one light in. A lot of times I do that so that each building has a little bit different effect to it through the windows. This is a lot smaller, so these windows will be brighter, right? This being a larger space, these will have a little bit of a lower illuminate to it. It won't illuminate as brilliantly as a smaller box. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. And I just need it to just kind of lightly light up these windows. I'm not trying to make it look like sunlight, just, you know, like maybe there's a couple lamps on inside the house. So we'll do that. So let me get this going. I'm gonna need wire. Let me get some wire. Where's my wire? I think I got that. And I got that. Okay. Let's see here. There's some wire. Let me put this over there. I've got, that's probably long enough. It should be long enough to get me in trouble. Yeah. It will be. I'll set that there. Grab a lighter. I need a blade. There's a blade. Okay. That's warming up pretty good. Now, since I'm going to do these lights in series, I'll figure this out. Put him up here on the wall. Got that there. I think if I move him here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is we'll strip these. Okay. And then this guy about there. So I'll solder these wires into these about halfway, run these guys down, solder this guy into the end. He can drop down through. So we'll do it that way. Let's pull that. Same thing with this. Okay. There we go. There's that. Yeah, this was doing the wiring on that big one. That was a pain in the butt. And it's because the floor, I mean, it's narrow. The way it goes together, it wasn't the easiest. Trying to do it because it didn't give you much room, and I'm trying to solder it. And yeah, it was one of those things. You got to use colorful metaphors every once in a while. Okay, let's see here. Let me go ahead and I'll put a twist on this. So. Okay. Stay. Okay. A bit of flux. And now, just whip out the solder real quick. It's fairly decent. All tangled up here. Let's see here. There we go. The rooster won't shut up today. Okay, so here we go. Come on. There we go. There's that one. And I'll get this one. This won't take very long to do this. I'm not using shrink wrap on this. I'm just going to go ahead and throw some duct tape on it. Yeah, duct tape will work fine. Never see it anyway. There's that. Okay. All right. Come on. Should clean off my soldering iron. Might have to. Come on. There we go. Okay, so there's that. And where's my duct tape? I'll be right back. Okay. Oh, I'm banging. Damn it. Pencil sharpener fell. Oh, yeah, another thing I'm working on. That didn't break, did it? No. I have a carport. It's off to the side of the layout or the garage that way. And I'm going to turn that into a shop. And what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and take this whole entire garage. It's just going to be devoted to slot cars and everything else. So I'm going to get all my tools out of here. And they're going next door. And that'll be nice. Give me a lot more room to move around in. And a lot more room to get in trouble with, that's for sure. If anybody's been around the channel or anything like that for any length of time, you guys know I have a really hard time that if I see if I see that I have more room, Deception Raceways always seems to grow. So if I get this all set, I mean, obviously I have the HO layout over on the ceiling over there, which I was thinking about having it down, but nah, it's going to be on the pulley system and everything else. So I can bring it up, have more room, but I might be able to add on to Deception. So yeah, it's probably not a wise idea, but what the heck. I need to use this real quick. It's going to get loud for a moment, guys. All right, there we go. So, yeah. Slot shed's getting added on to. So, God help me. We'll see what happens here. But if I get... Plan is get this thing cleaned up, get these... I got my roll-around toolbox in here. I have my drill press and my bandsaw. My bandsaw I can't even set up because I just don't have enough room for everything in this garage, along with shelving and storage on the other side. So I build that other side, I can, yeah, it'll be nice. So did I build? I have to make that hole bigger. Let's see here. Okay, there's a hole I drilled in the floor. It's not going to be big enough. You know what I need to do? I just thought about something. I need to line this thing up on the, like I said, I went ahead and put some lines on this board. Where's that line at? There. Up there. That line's up there. Let's move this that way. Okay, so there's. What I'm doing is there's a hole in the floor. I didn't drill it big enough because I had it originally for the small wires. So I'm going to have to open it up. What's underneath this? Oh, there's that other one. So let's see here. I can do that. Actually, the other parts. I can just scar wood on the base. Just take a peek. Take a peek. Okay, good. I gotta vacuum again. All right, now I can put wires down through. I think. That. There's that. There's this. There's wire. White to white. Black to red. So there's that. Get this one blasted in there. Get the other one done. And we'll get on to something a little funner, like maybe watching paint dry. I'm gonna have to fix that. Damn it. It's one thing, since it's on, it's not mounted on the board yet. Tends to flex. I went ahead and hot glued it together. And hot glue has a little bit of give to it. Didn't think that one through. Should have used, probably should have even used PVA, but I just didn't want it to take a while to dry. Got impatient, but no biggie. I can fix those cracks when it gets on there. Like this. Oh. Okay. Let's see here. I might have to make this longer. There we go. So there's that. Don't be coming off. Stay. Okay, there we go. Turn that off. Let's get this out of the way. We got our soldering done. Move that. And let's see here. I need to glue that into place first. Got this. Get this out of here before I end up burning my hand. Okay, so there's that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the light, this guy, and I'm going to glue it up here on the wall, kind of pointing out. And that'll help illuminate it. Don't want it down on the floor. I want it up a little bit so that it has room to work. So if we do that, put that there. Take some accelerator. Don't be falling off. There. That works. So then that's sitting out there like that. So these actually shoot quite a bit of light out the front. So if I can bend this down like so, then what this do will shoot across, hit this wall, and it'll dissipate the light more. So do it that way. That'll work. And then I just got to put, where is it? This guy. I was going to put him on this wall right here. Kind of shoot him that way, away from there, kind of hitting in this area. So we'll give that a whirl. Try to give it a whirl. So if I go in these wires at a 90, and I went ahead and I tested my lights before I put them in here. It's always a wise idea, even though you got brand new, lights. I have found a few, not very many, just a handful that have been defects from the factory. You always want to test them, just in case. And believe it or not, the lights that I found that were defects were not the cheapies. They were, a couple of them were the plug and play from Woodland Scenics. So even though you think, oh, I've got this and it's from this company and oh, I know their stuff, always double check it, man. Because one of those lights was in a building that I had to open back up because I did not take the time to check it. So always check your lights. All right, so get this here. I still gotta put duct tape on those. Too busy talking to you guys, not paying attention. Okay, so let me go ahead, throw a little bit of ducky tape. Okay, so there's that. There's that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend these at a 90 with thicker wire. Like so. And then I'm going to put a dab of glue where the wires go through at. The reason for that is I don't want the wires to pull and cause me grief down the road. And what can happen is, say you're putting this in and stuff like that, and you yank these wires, right? And you break a connection now on the inside of it. Imagine you're all done, you got the roof on, you got everything looking perfect, and you mess something up like that. Yeah, talk about a Godzilla moment, right? You want to take this thing and throw it across the shop. So yeah, just what I like to do is put a little dab of glue down on the floor. So I got some glue right down there at the hole where it goes through, and then that'll hold those wires so they won't move. So there's that. So I got these wires out, so we're dangerous there. Got them glued in. Accelerator, duct tape, throw the duct tape. Okay. I don't need this anymore. Tripping over stuff. Like I said, I need more room. Let's see here. This. There. Got that, got that. Okay, I'm trying to think. That one's set, that one's. I'm thinking aloud, guys. Tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and put these roofs on this. That guy. And this one. Because what I'm having problems with is, see the crack here? So it cracked. I got to come back and fix this. Big thing is that it's flexing. But if okay, this is, normally these roofs, the way they're designed, go like so, right? And then you've got this corrugated on the edge. What I like to do with these roofs is I turn them around. And I'll actually, let's see here. This is, if it'll work that way. Okay, so that guy would go there. And this guy would go here. Okay, but I'm going to do it that way. I'm trying to think, but I may not be able to do it. No, I can't do it with this one. Son of a biscuit. It's because it's at an angle. Yeah, see, it's going to be too wide here. Okay, screw it. We'll do it this way. Normally I do it the other way on some of the other stuff, like problem is with this building, it's like a triangle. So even if I flip, why I normally do that is when I put the roof on, even though I cover this roof, see, now I'm splitting hairs, right? What it is this edge and trying to hide that edge. And yeah, I won't see it, but there's that edge right there. I can't do it. Yeah, see, I can't do it that way. What if I do it this way? Will it work? No, it won't work. Okay, screw it. We'll do it this way. Fine, so be it. If it was squared off, I'd flip it around so I have a smooth edge on the outside. Let's see here. If I do it, see what I'm thinking. So I do it like that. And then I can glue this into here to give it more structure. It's flexing too much. And it's biting me in the butt. So, now we got that squared away, that squared. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So we'll glue this guy in. And then I'll fix that edge. This guy I want to go like that. All right, so there's this. Where's the peak? Peak. There. Make sure this is, yeah, that looks decent. So there's that. This guy glued. Again, I'm just trying to do this to alleviate the flex that I'm having. There's other ways I could do this. Come on, you better fit, you little pain in the butt. Get him there. Okay, it's going to have a little bit of a space at the top, but it'll work because this is all going to get covered up anyway. So let me just hold this real quick. I love this stuff. Hit it with accelerator. Do some turbo modeling. Okay, so we got that. Then I'll do that other side. Okay, we'll do this back side. Big thing I'm worried about is the overhang on the eaves. So I'm trying to match it up with this guy to this guy, make it look uniform. So that works. Okay, so let me stay. Here comes my heritage here. that stay there? It might stay there. A little bit of a slant. There we go. Yeah. Don't do body work anymore, but my old dollies work good for holding stuff into place. So here, I'll do this. Said I'm going after the eaves more or less. So we need to bring that guy there, that guy there. Now we got that set. Where's the accelerator? Okay. It's there. Now we got this all set. Well, it's drying. Oops. Trying to move stuff around. Okay. My fingers dried to it. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we'll let that kind of kick. I've got to fix, like I said, I got to fix this real quick. And I got one here. You know what's funny? The other side didn't crack out. It's just this side. That's weird. Okay, so let's see here. I've got joint compound. I think dry this. I don't know if this is going to work this way or what. Use a finer tip brush. Go like this. You just need to fill it enough, right? So cool thing is that some of these go all the way across the seam, so I can make it look like a rock again. Here, let's see here. And drop you down. There. So I've got this crack. And if I come across it, like so, we can fill that in and fill up our screw up. And since I'm not putting a whole bunch on, Should flash off pretty good. There. It's a little bit bigger in here. There we go. Let's put a seam through there. Same thing here. There we go. Yeah, it's one thing to build it all up, but every once in a while you got to repair your watch my mouth, your mess up. Yeah, I'm using my fingernail just to kind of carve that down a little bit. Actually, where is that thing? I can use this. Where is that break? It's right there. There. I'll just redefine these rocks just a little bit. Like so. There. Voila, we fixed it. Okay, now I gotta fix this guy over on this side too. Like I said, it only cracked on this side. It's kind of strange. So it's flexing on this side of it, obviously, because I don't think the joint compound is more flexible on one side than the other. Okay. Let's see here. I gotta move this, try to move this. Not moving it very good. Wait a minute. You're not even got. Yeah, we can do this. Here we go. Here's our wires. But that's what I'm after. See that? Kind of weird. That one's cracked. That one's cracked. The other side, not cracked. Huh. Got flex on this side. Okay, so now this will be easier than the other because I got a smooth wall to work off of. Maybe I'll just do it this way. There. Like I said, this stuff's been worked together with a little bit of PVA glue, watered down, which is do a 50% mixing ratio. And it actually, this stuff's pretty strong. Give it a generous coat. It soaks right into the joint, the compound, joint compound. There's that. Just reestablish the edges of this stuff. There we go. Okay, so that's fixed. Now, this should be dry. Yep, that's dry. Let's take these off. Put these away. All right. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Let me put away the joint compound. Down here. Okay. So yeah, now we got that seam. It's pretty well fixed. Looks pretty good. You can see the depth, right? This is just pretty much a skim coat over the top. You can almost see the bricks that they had down in the MDF. But you can see, I mean, there's quite a bit of material on this wall, right? If you don't use PVA and get that extra bond and seal it in, this stuff, once it starts to dry, will pop out of it, right? It'll come undone. So you got to put the PVA on it to help glue it into place, especially when you get thick like that. And then here's this seam. You can still see it a little bit in here, but by the time we get done with painting and everything else, it'll look okay. So there we go. So that'll work. All right, now let's see what kind of trouble we can get into next. Can't exactly glue this guy up there yet. This board's flexing in the middle. But the idea is that this will come right up there on the edge. And then that'll all look nice and uniform. But that's still, I still got to put, I'll show you. My tripod's stuck. I still got to do all the doors and windows and everything else on that. I have my Zoom meeting tonight with my Patreon group, and we're just going to start, call it a BYOP, bring your own project tonight. So I'll probably work on that. Maybe I can get that squared away. Get the windows, doors. We got windows on the back side. So maybe I'll work on that tonight. Okay. So let's start with the main building. Okay. I have a special mix here that I made. It's my Texas paint. No, this is just regular acrylic, but it's the base color, but it's cinnamon and antique white mixed together. And I'll show you it's kind of a dirty, good base color, right? Kind of a dirty beige. Yeah. So I'm going to use that on this the big building. So let me get a paintbrush, and you can tell this. Okay. Instead of mixing paint as you go, right? Especially if you're doing a kits and you're doing like this, where you're going to have a lot of buildings painted pretty much your same base color, I recommend making a bunch of paint. Okay, nothing worse. And you guys have seen me do this even on my videos and everything else, where I painted something and then I'm like, oh shit, I come back later and I got to remember my mixing ratio as far as painting again. Do it this way. It makes life a lot easier, you know. Yeah, you might mix a little bit too much, but PV or acrylics are cheap, so it's it's best just to do it that way. I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. I don't need to paint that on the board. Let's see here. Let's move some stuff. Okay. Move this up. Get this back there. There's that board. Okay. Yeah, like I said, the back side. It didn't crack there. It didn't crack down there. What the hell? I don't know. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's move you over here. There's that. Come on, up, up, up. There. There. Okay. Notice I don't have it here, right? So that's where this building will fit, right in that shadowed area. So did that because it's better to actually glue to the PVA than it is the joint compound, if I can help it. So this, I'm not looking for 100%. I just want to more or less work it like just a light coat. Just something to tint everything down. This right here on the edge. Start getting somewhere now. You guys are still, yeah. Yeah, check every once in a while, make sure the live stream's still going. What time is it? What's going on? 4:30. We start playing at what, quarter after 3. Yeah. Not too bad. Okay. So there's that. Got the coat. That's all this is going to get to as far as the base color. I will come in, do more weathering and everything else. I just need to have this down as my base. Not looking for 100% voila. No, because These buildings were tattered. So even though you can see bleed through, perfect. Don't want to make it look perfect because it wasn't perfect. So do that. Now this gets a little bit, got to control my paint a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I've got a lot of buildings to paint this color. The ones in the middle, pretty much every single building gets painted this base color. So that's why I have so much made up. Again, this is mixed up like a wash. So it is a wash. It's a thicker wash. So it won't dry all the same hue or anything else. It'll show kind of a bleed through, get kind of blotchy. Okay. Go. It's always cool when you start putting paint on stuff. It's like, hey, it's starting to look good. Okay. It's kind of funny too. If you see these buildings in real life, they, or with the pictures of them, right? They look a lot different today because it looks like they really cleaned up that town from what it used to be. Um, so a lot of buildings now have fresh paint on them and everything else. But back in the day, uh, these buildings were pretty tattered looking. So this base color obviously is real light, um, but it will not be that way come towards the end. I'll have so much weathering and stuff on this that it won't look like this, that's for sure. So there's that. So yeah, it's looking all right. Move to here. That's a lot easier. Wide open space. Start moving fast again. Just like so. See how it's drying unevenly. Whoa, don't do that, Boone. That's the cool thing about a wash. The cool thing about having a brush that's coming apart. Little hairs in here. Huh. Brush came apart. Thing of pull. What's happening is I'm grinding it onto the surface. It's knocking some of the bristles loose. So there. That's good enough. Okay, I painted that side. All right, now we'll go to here. Come on. Huh. Move that. Move that here. Okay. Now, tilt this up. There we go. Dripping on myself. Let's see here. All right. And you get inside this door well. Okay. So there's that. Trying to think with those little patios if they were wood or concrete. Let's come back if need be. Yeah, if you notice, if you've seen these buildings before, they had graffiti on the front of them. In fact, these buildings from Racetrack Scenics have the graffiti that's on there. So there's no graffiti, right? So I'm going to have to come back after everything's all said and done. One of the last things I'll end up doing is putting the graffiti back on these buildings. But it's going to have to be one of the last things. I just wanted to have the rocks and everything else, all that texture underneath the graffiti as well. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to be, so do it that way. Come on. Trying to get this all edged. Get a little bit of paint on my door. Let's see here. Let's take a clean brush. Okay. Cool thing about a wash. Make it work in your favor. If it was solid paint, it'd be hard to do something like that. I'd have to come in and try to remove it. But with a wash, I just kind of smear it around a little bit. Works in. Okay. All right. Okay. Almost got it. I gotta figure out the rocks on that building. we go. Cool. So we got that all done. So the base color is done on this. I'll just throw that away. There. So you can see how it kind of gets, and it's a wash, so it's going to be blotchy and everything else. But it's kind of cool. Gives you that first, and it's kind of weird. You know, camera is really weird. This actually has color on it, yet on the camera it looks like there's no color. It's so weird. But yeah, so we got that all on there. So base color's down on that. What'll happen with this, I dropped something. What'll happen is I will come back and do weathering on it. But there. Yeah, and then I'll fill it all in. I gotta think about this. Is this thing still charged up? Ooh, it is. Let's see here. What's going on here? Okay. Actually, you guys, this, as far as primer goes, the joint compound works as a primer. If you're trying to paint right over the top of the MDF, yes, you have to prime it. But with the joint compound over the top of it, it's acting as your primer. It's not going to absorb or anything else. I just kind of looked at the chat real quick. And that's kind of also the two. I'm not trying to get 100% coverage with this kind of skin color. I want it to be translucent. I want it to look ugly. These buildings were very ugly when you're thinking about that type of stuff. Let me actually see if I can bring up. Yeah. Let us look at some history. There is our building that we're going after. This guy right here. See how dirty it is, how washed out it is, everything else. So what we're doing right now is we're getting that base color down, right? When it comes back, I've still got tons of weathering to do on that. So I'm not worried about if this thing's looking 100% covered. In fact, I don't want it 100% covered because it's going to create more work for me to get it to look like this. So I want it to be like this for my base color, and then I want to start adding this grime and everything else over the top of it. So if you guys are kind of thinking, well, why didn't he? Well, that's why, because our building needs a lot of ugliness going on. Now I'm looking at these buildings off to the side over here, and they're real close as far as the base color on that. So a lot like the wall that I did up on the layout. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use my base color that I had. And now I need to go grab that brush. Nah, I'll just get a new brush. I'm going to put this color on this too. Yep, definitely. Unless I can find, yeah. And then you can see, but yeah, if you look at these buildings, like I said, they do not look like this today. Today, this building actually is 3 stories. It's all been freshly painted, completely remodeled. I'm not sure about across the street, but Yeah. I'm not going for perfect. You can see that. So that's what's kind of going on. So I'm going to go ahead and I think, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and put this base color down on these. I think that'll work best. Yeah, and then I'm going to have to, this is going to take a while. So what I'm thinking, I'll think aloud. I gotta get this base color down on top of this. These rocks and everything else, there's some of them are going to be individual colors and whatnot. I'm going to have to come through with individual color washes and kind of hit some of these stones. So that's going to take a little bit to do. So right now, I just want to worry about the base color. I want the base colors to dry, to cure completely. That way, when I come in with other stuff, I won't be moving that base pigment into the other pigments. So that'll be a big thing there. And that's a lot of times when you're doing layering with paint, make sure you don't rush it. As far as with, I'm trying to figure this out, how I'm going to do this. Don't rush it as far as colors go, especially with your base colors. Paint those, let them dry, let them cure. Then come in with your other stuff on top of that. If you come in, especially with acrylic, if you come in too quickly with other stuff, washes on top of it, you're going to reactivate your base. And then what's going to happen is it's going to get bleedy. It's going to bleed together. It's going to get muddy looking. So we just want to go after just the base and get that set. So we will do that. So I guess I'm just using more of this paint. Why not? Okay, works for me. Makes my life easier, that's for sure. I've painted the other buildings quite a few times. This is the first time I painted this set. I've done a couple commission builds with these Targa buildings, but no one has yet had these buildings done yet, so kind of funny. Well, they're not as well known as the ones on the inside of the turn per se. So we'll just put this down. Okay. There we go. Cool thing about wash too, especially on stonework, is it makes it so much easier. Just kind of get the paint in there and let it decide where it wants to go. Yeah, and this color is real close to like per se a skin color if you were to paint figures. It is and it isn't. Can't really say it really looks like skin in in person. It's close. It's darker than it. Definitely darker. Here's that seam that I went ahead and fixed. So that turned out all right. Okay. It's kind of cool. Once you get color going on this, you can start seeing the changes in the height and whatnot with the stonework. When it's all white, it's kind of washed out, but you start adding some color to it. Definitely helping. Okay, let's see here. Move. It's kind of a tedious thing to do when you're doing these rocks with the joint compound. It takes a while. The end result's pretty cool. There's other stuff you can use out there besides joint compound to do this, but I like the way joint compound turns out. It's real easy to load up and everything else, make areas thicker and thinner. Besides that, it costs a lot less money than the other modeling supplies. That's for sure. Okay. There's that. Turn over here, the back side. It's the crazy side that didn't crack. Okay. There you go. And you'll see areas with no rock, right? Where it's got a bald spot right there. Those are areas that came undone just when I was coming back doing the cleanup. So what happens is I put joint compound down, it dries, and then I come through and I start knocking off all the slag that's on there, just kind of cleaning it up. Well, sometimes stuff chips out. I opted just to go ahead and leave those areas just because it just adds a little bit more character to it, a little bit more of a weathered look to it. You could come back in if you wanted to and repair those areas, but I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool to leave little chunks out of it, stuff that was missing. There wasn't that many of them, so kind of did a nice, kind of breaks the monotony a little bit. Still got to get inside that door well. There's that. That. So yeah, I'll I gotta not talk so much when I'm trying to do this. Hang on, let me get the inside of this first. Got some paint on that. Have to come in with that dry brush. There we go. Here's this brush. As long as you hit this, a lot of times with wash like this, it's a dry brush. Doesn't have anything on it, right? And what I'm doing is just kind of moving it around and then dissipate the color. So yeah, that'll work. Save your hide. Otherwise, if I let it dry, yeah, then it's going to be this color on that woodwork. So let me just get the rest of this. Almost got it. And then next step after this is just to let this thing dry. Like I said, I gotta let it cure. Granted, it dries pretty fast, but I want to make sure because I don't want to make it all muddy looking. So it's best just to get this done, set it on the shelf, let it dry before I decide to do anything else. Like I said, all this was done with that that new wash that I came up with from Hobby Lobby. I was showing that's different colors. There's a door down here. I did green. I'll show you it. Turned out cool. Cool material. Anything that makes your life easier, right? Where's that brush? Where did I put that? There's that brush. Okay. There's that. There's that. And get up here. All right, you guys, here we go. Okay, so I was going to show you this door down here. It's got the green wash on it. Yeah, I didn't like that. Almost lost that container off the table. That, it's a green. Looks pretty cool. I don't know, I'm trying to get the right color to it. But yeah, cool stuff. It is so weird looking at this on camera. See all those white spots? Those white spots are not there to the naked eye. Sure the hell there on camera. That's just weird. Okay. So there we go. I got this. It's all coated. I fixed my boo-boos as far as my cracks go. We got that wired. Got this on top. I just got to let this thing dry. And as soon as it's dry, then I can come back and start doing the rocks. That's going to take some time to do it right. But, okay, I'm hitting stuff. Let's see here. I'll get back to here. It's not a very good picture of it. So, these rocks on this building right here are a lot like this building. Okay? They're a lot like that one. You can see kind of that beigey color in there. That's why I went ahead and did the base color like this first. So I can work with those lighter areas, come in with different washes, different colors, and then start working it out, start layering it out. But I want to get that light stuff in there at the base and then work off of that. So that's kind of the idea behind that. And now I just got to wait for this to dry and we can go from there. Oh, another thing, I was going to cheat. See these hay bales right here? I got to find, where did I put those? God. All right. Tripping over stuff, man. Okay. Worth the dropping stuff. I lost you guys. Okay. Oh, crap. Okay. I saw these. I thought I'd grab them just for the heck of it, right? So this is from Hobby Lobby. These hay bales. Now the rounds, yeah, they're not going to work. I mean, those real rounds, I get rounds for the horses. And tell you what, they're a hell of a lot bigger than that. But these hay bales are pretty damn good. You know what? Yeah, sorry, Chris. You're nauseous. Sorry, man. But yeah, those are pretty cool, actually. Now, I make hay bales, right? But those are not that bad a looking hay bale. They really aren't. I just grabbed these. I thought it was kind of cool, so I thought I'd give them a grab. But yeah, they weren't that much. What, $7.99? So if you need hay bales, that's an easy way of doing it. So yeah, just thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, on that corner right there, those hay bales. So yeah, not a bad idea. All right, so I turned this thing around. So there we go. I'm sorry. I dropped you. Okay, let me turn that off. So we've only been playing for like 2 hours. Yeah, that's pretty good. I've got 6 o'clock Zoom meeting with the Patreon guys. So give me a little bit of time to recoup and figure out what I'm doing tonight. Like I said, we're doing a thing where everyone's bringing their own project and we're all just kind of playing together that way instead of doing a group project. But yeah, there we go. Let me turn this back around. Come on. There we go. So yeah, isn't that weird? Okay. See those light spots? Those are not there to the naked eye. Well, they are a little bit, but not like that. That's so weird how stuff looks on camera. So, but yeah, this is all just the base color down. And then from there, I'll go ahead and start weathering it out. But there's that. And then obviously I have this scratch built polystyrene that I'll have to finish up. I got the brickwork up on top there, and then that matching up. It's kind of weird. All these buildings, at least along this row, right, that go down, it's like every other building was a completely different type of construction. This one was rock. That one was brick. That one was red brick. That one over there was another stucco. This one's concrete. I mean, it's just it's just crazy. But yeah. So we're closer at least. So there's that. You have a headache now? Sorry, man. Oh, but yeah, we'll go from there. I've got this all down. I still gotta put down that copper tape on the other rail. Told you guys about that. Was playing around with, couldn't get that copper. Just screw it. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I don't want to mess with conductivity or anything else. And yeah, I'll just do it that way. So I think that's pretty much it. Got that. Got base color on that. I showed you guys. Yeah, we did a few things today. So 2 hours, got some stuff done. Got lights put in, roof on, base colors all painted. Yeah, okay. So next time when we come back here playing, I don't know how far. I'm really thinking I'm going to go ahead and work on the scratch built portion of these buildings tonight. Because I got a lot. I got to build all the window frames, all the doors. Yeah, I might as well just do that, start working on that. Where what I'd like to do is get to a point where I can get these all glued to the board soon. Get them all glued to the board and get it so I can get these things finished and then start blending scenery into these buildings. So that's the goal. I don't know how far I'll get to that goal, but that's the goal. So yeah, there we go. At least we got that. He's still hanging out up there. Let's keep an eye on me. That's the ghost of Bob Ross. He's right up there. Okay, so yeah, we'll go from there. I don't know what's happening next week. Might be shooting off to, where do they? Talking, might take a trip down south to what was that, Big Bend State National Park down southern part of Texas. Might go do that. I guess right now is the time you want to do it, so you don't. Summertime is not the time to do it, so we might be doing that next week. If I am, then you won't see me. If I'm not, then you'll see me. So we'll see what happens from there. But otherwise, thanks for everyone that came and hung out. And yeah, I don't know what we're going to be doing next week or the week after, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just keep on rolling with this. I got a crap load to do. So we'll just pick up the ball when we get there. All right. So thanks to everybody that came out and hung out. And I will see y'all hopefully next week. If not next week, the week after for sure. All right. So see you guys all later. Bye. Now I got to turn this thing off. All right. There we go. Yep.